to each and one of you to this momentous occasion. The unveiling of the quotations of the esteemed Sri S.S. Prasad Garu, whose legacy continues to inspire generation in the legal fraternity. I invite Lordship Sri Justice Rao Raghunandan Rao Garu, Judge High Court of Andhra Pradesh, Administrative Judge of Visakhapatnam Unit, to please come on the dais. I would request Mrs. Gayatri, daughter of S.S. Prasad Rao Garu, to kindly present a short and as a taken respect and gratitude to this lordship. I invite Lordship Sri Ravi Shimalapati, Judge High Court of Andhra Pradesh, to kindly come on the dais. I would request Mrs. Bindu Madhavi, daughter-in-law of S.S. Prasad Rao Garu, to kindly present a short and a taken respect and gratitude for his lordship. I invite Lordship Sri Challa Gunaranjan Garu, Judge High Court of Andhra Pradesh, to kindly come on the dais. I would request Mr. S.S. Ravi Kiran, younger son of the S.S. Prasad Rao Garu, to kindly present a short and take respect and gratitude to his lordship. I invite Sri Challa Kodandaram Garu, retired High Court Judge of the state of Telangana, to kindly I would respect Lenaksha Garu, sister, advocate, and wife of the S.S. Prasad Rao Garu, to kindly present this offering as a token of respect and gratitude to the Justice Sri Challa Kodandaram Garu. I invite Sri D.V.S.S. Somayagal Garu, retired High Court Judge, Andhra Pradesh, to kindly come on the dais. I would request S.V.S. S. Shivaram Garu, son of S.V.S. Prasad Rao Garu, to kindly present his argument and respect and gratitude to justice. I invite Principal District Judge Garu Leru, వాళ్ళు చీఫ్ జస్టిస్ ఆఫ్ ఆంధ్రప్రదేశ్ వారితో ఉన్నారు కాబట్టి వాళ్ళు కొద్దిగా లేటుగా వస్తారని మాకు ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్ జరిగింది. నెక్స్ట్ ఐ ఇన్వైట్ ద ప్రెసిడెంట్ ఆఫ్ విశాఖపట్నం బార్ అసోసియేషన్ శ్రీ వెంకట శ్రీనివాస్ గారు, టు కైండ్లీ కమ్ ఆన్ ద డయాస్. ఐ వుడ్ రిక్వెస్ట్ మిస్టర్ కృష్ణ, అసోసియేట్ ద ఎస్.ఎస్. ప్రసాద్ రావు గారి ఆఫీస్, టు కైండ్లీ ప్రెజెంట్ ద సార్ వెంకట శ్రీనివాస్ గారు. I would now hand over the proceedings to the President, Sri M.K. Srinivas Rao Garu, for the opening address and conducting the program. Thank you, sir.
Request Mr. Nayak, the Secretary, to occupy the dais. I request Mr. Prakash to hand out sampling.
Where to go? మంచి టైఫాయిడ్ అది
ఫోటోగ్రాఫర్స్, వీడియోగ్రాఫర్స్ మీరు అందరూ కూడా గెస్ట్ వచ్చినప్పుడు మాట్లాడటం తీయండి. రెస్ట్ ఆఫ్ ది పార్టీ మీరు అంతా ప్లేస్ పైకి వెళ్తే తగ్గిన వాళ్ళకి డిస్టర్బెన్స్ ఉండదు. చేసినటువంటి అత్యున్నత మహారథ న్యాయ కోవిదులు, రాజ్యాంగం ద్వారా వచ్చినటువంటి చట్టాల మీద అపారమైనటువంటి అనుభవం కావాలన్నటువంటి విశాఖపట్నం ముద్దు బిడ్డలు, విశాఖపట్నాన్ని తన బిడ్డలుగా చూసినటువంటి న్యాయమూర్తులు, మా న్యాయాధికారులు, నా తోటి సహచర ఎగ్జిక్యూటివ్ కమిటీ మెంబర్స్, ఆహ్వానాన్ని మన్నించి వచ్చినటువంటి సీనియర్, జూనియర్ మహిళా న్యాయవాదులు, ఆంధ్రప్రదేశ్ హైకోర్టు నుంచి తరలి వచ్చినటువంటి సీనియర్ న్యాయవాదులు, జూనియర్ న్యాయవాదులు, CKR Associates టీమ్, శివరాం ఫ్రెండ్స్, నా ఫ్రెండ్స్ రాధాకృష్ణ గారు, వీరందరికీ కూడా, అదేవిధంగా మమ్మల్ని ముందుండి నడిపిస్తున్నటువంటి ఇంతకుముందు ప్రెసిడెంట్స్, బార్ కౌన్సిల్ వైస్ చైర్మన్స్, చైర్మన్స్, మెంబర్స్ అందరికీ శుభోదయం. గతంలో కూడా నేను చెప్పాను, ఒక వ్యక్తి యొక్క కీర్తి, యశస్సు అన్నవి ఆయన ఉన్నప్పుడు అనుభవించినవి కాదు. తరువాత ఎంతకాలం ప్రజల హృదయాల్లో చెరగని ముద్ర వేస్తారు. వారు మన మధ్య భౌతికంగా లేకపోయినా కూడా నిత్యం వారిని స్మరిస్తుంటామో వారు ధన్యజీవులు. ఆ కోవకు చెందినటువంటి కుటుంబం నుంచి వచ్చినటువంటి వ్యక్తి సత్యప్రసాద్ గారు. ఆయన యొక్క ఫోటో అనుభవం సందర్భంగా అమ్మ మీనాక్షి, శివరాము, తమ్ముడు రవి, వాళ్ళ కుటుంబీకులు భారత స్టేషన్ వారిని అప్రోచ్ అయ్యి అడిగినప్పుడు నాయుడు గారు నేను ఇద్దరు కూడా నిస్సందేహంగా చేద్దామంటే వాళ్ళు చెప్పినటువంటి మొట్టమొదటి మాట, మా తాతగారు కూడా అనువలించి మా నాన్నగారు లైబ్రరీ కనెక్షన్ ఎయిర్ కండిషన్ చేయించారండి. ఇప్పుడు ఈ కొత్త భారత హాల్కి ఆ ఫెసిలిటీ రాక ఇంతకుముందు 3-4 ఫంక్షన్ అయినప్పుడు వచ్చినటువంటి జ్యుడిషియల్ ఆఫీసర్స్ అటెండ్ అయిన వాళ్ళు కూడా చాలా ఇబ్బంది పడ్డారు. అది మాకు వ్యక్తిగతంగా తెలిసింది మా ఆఫీస్ వారి ద్వారా. మొదట మీరు మమ్మల్ని ఆ పని చేయడానికి పెర్మిట్ చేస్తేనే మేము అక్కడ ఫంక్షన్ చేస్తాం చెప్పండి. అంత గొప్ప హృదయం. ఈ విషయం ఎప్పుడైతే మేము జిల్లా జడ్జి గారికి తెలియజేయడం అయింది. కొంత డోనర్ చెప్పలేదు, కోర్టుపల్లి జడ్జి గారికి కూడా చెప్పడం అయింది. వాళ్ళు కూడా చాలా సానుకూలంగా స్పందించి త్వరితగతిని ఈ పని చేయడానికి మాకు అవకాశం కలిగించారు. మాకు ఇచ్చిన అంటే మాకు ఉన్న సమయం చాలా తక్కువ అవుతే మాకు లభించినటువంటి ఏసీ టెక్నీషియన్స్ వేణు తగ్గినటువంటి 4-5 ప్రాక్టికల్గా నేను నాయుడు గారు సాయంత్రం కోర్టు అయిన తర్వాత 6 గంటల నుంచి రాత్రి 2 వరకు పనిచేసాము అంతా పాటుగా. అంటే ఈ వీళ్ళంత మంచి ఉద్దేశంతో ఫంక్షన్ నడిపిస్తున్నారు కాబట్టి లోపల పూర్తి చేస్తే దానికి సార్థకత ఉంటుందని చెప్పడం కోసం మాత్రం చెప్పాను నేను. ఆ విధంగా ఈ హాల్కి ఇప్పుడు ఎయిర్ కండిషన్ సౌకర్యం లభించింది. ఇది ఒక అడ్వకేట్ కమ్యూనిటీకి మంచి చేద్దాం అన్నటువంటి ఆ కుటుంబం ఉద్దేశాన్ని చెప్పడం కోసం మాత్రం చెప్పాను. సత్యప్రసాద్ గారి కుటుంబానికి మా కుటుంబానికి ఉన్నటువంటి బంధం ఒకే ఒక వ్యాఖ్యలో చెప్పి టెక్నికల్ ప్రోగ్రామ్ కంటిన్యూ చేస్తాను. నేను శివరామ్ దాస్ గారిని చూశాను, సత్యప్రసాద్ గారిని చూశాను, శివరామని చూశాను, శివరామ్ కొడుకుని చూశాను, 4 తరాలు చూశాను. శివరామ్ కూడా మా నాన్నగారు సీతారాం గారితో కలిసి తిరిగాడు. ఆయన మమ్మల్ని చూశాడు, మా తర్వాత తరం కౌశల్యం చూశాడు, తర్వాత మా గ్రాండ్ చైల్డ్ ఖ్యాతిని కూడా ఆయన చూశాడు. ఈ విధంగా ఆ కుటుంబానికి మా కుటుంబానికి వ్యక్తిగతంగా 4 తరాలతో అనుబంధం ఉండాలి. అది కూడా ఒక కారణం. ఈ తక్కువ టైంలో ఈ ఫంక్షన్ ఆర్గనైజ్ చేయడానికి ఒక ప్రారంభం. సత్యప్రసాద్ గారి గురించి మాట్లాడడానికి నాకంతా ఎక్కువ సీనియర్ ఉన్నటువంటి చాలామంది న్యాయవాదులు, జడ్జెస్, జ్యుడిషియల్ ఆఫీసర్ చాలా ఉన్నారు. కాబట్టి ఆయన గురించి నేను 1-2 అంకాలు చెప్పి ప్రోగ్రాంలో నెక్స్ట్ ఐటమ్ వెళ్ళిపోతాను. ఎందుకంటే ఇందులో నేను వృత్తిలో వచ్చేసరికి ఎదురు పడితే భయపడి పక్కకు తప్పుకునే వ్యక్తులు చాలా మంది ఉన్నారు అప్పుడు ఆ రోజుల్లో. సీనియర్ అడ్వకేట్ టీవీ విజయ్ కుమార్ గారు వచ్చారు హైకోర్టు నుంచి. రమారామని ఆయన తెలుసు, దశాబ్ద కాలం పాటు అయింది. కానీ ఆ మెమరీస్ అన్ని కూడా చెరిష్ చేసుకున్నాం. విజయనగర్లో ఆయన ఇల్లు ఉన్నప్పుడు ఆయన గురించి వెళ్ళి బయట వెయిట్ చేస్తుంది, బయట ఉండకూడదండి లోపల అని చెప్పి చాలా తక్కువ. అప్పుడు 92 వెరీ ఫ్రెష్ ఇది ప్రొఫెషన్, వెరీ న్యూ. స్వామయ్య గారు, రవి గారు విశాఖపట్నం అడ్వకేట్స్ ఎవరిని కూడా ఒక అడ్వకేట్ చూడరు. వాళ్ళు సొంత మనుషుల కింద కొట్టలేకల కింద వాళ్ళు చూస్తారు. అదేవిధంగా ఒక అభిమానాన్ని ఇక్కడ ఉన్నటువంటి అందరి చేతపడిన పొందడం మా అదృష్టం. విశాఖపట్నం బార్ అసోసియేషన్ తర్వాత మంచిదని గొప్పతాను. సత్యప్రసాద్ గారు 95లో ఆయన ప్రొఫెషనల్గా వచ్చిన తర్వాత విశాఖపట్నం కోర్టులో కాదు, హైకోర్టులో కూడా ఆయన కేసులు చేయడం నేను చూశాను. అప్పుడు హైదరాబాద్లో హైకోర్టు. కాలక్రమేణా ఆయన సెంట్రల్ గవర్నమెంట్ ఆర్గనైజేషన్స్, ఏజెన్సీస్, ఈడీ, ఇన్కమ్ ట్యాక్స్ డిపార్ట్మెంట్, కస్టమ్స్ డిపార్ట్మెంట్, వీటన్నిటికీ స్టాండర్డ్ కోసం కింద తన యొక్క కర్తవ్యాన్ని నిర్వర్తించారు. అది కాకుండా ఆర్బిట్రేటర్ కింద సింగిల్గా చాలా మందితో కూడా కూర్చుని చాలా కేసులు ఆయన డిస్పోజ్ ఆఫ్ చేయడం జరిగింది. యాదృచ్ఛికంగా ఇంకొక మాట ఇక్కడ చెప్పాలి. 15/5/2021 మా నాన్నగారి తాలూకా లాస్ట్ రైట్స్ నేను చేశాను మా కుటుంబం అంతా. 15/5/2023 సత్యప్రసాద్ గారి తాలూకా లాస్ట్ రైట్స్ కూడా అదే ప్లేస్లో నేను చేయడం జరిగింది. ఈ ద్వారా విశాఖపట్నం బార్ అసోసియేషన్కి ఇంచుమించు 30 మంది పైన జూనియర్ అడ్వకేట్స్ తయారు చేసి ఇవ్వడం జరిగింది. ఎంత మనిషి ఎంతమందికి విధాలుగా సహాయం చేస్తూ ముందుకు వెళ్ళడానికి మీనాక్షి అమ్మ ప్రధాన కారణం. ఆయనకి అన్నింటిలో చేదోడు వాదాడుగా ఉంటుంది. ఎప్పుడు కూడా ఆయన ఏం చెప్తే ఆవిడే ఇంకొక మాట్లేదు. పార్వతీ పరమేశ్వర్ లాగా అన్ని కార్యక్రమాలు చేసేవారు. ప్రత్యేకంగా వాళ్ళ ఇంట్లో శ్రీరాముడిని జరిపేవారు. సిస్టర్ శ్రీనివాసమూర్తి గారు ప్రెసిడెంట్గా ఉండగా శివరామ్ దాస్ గారు తరగా కోట్రక్ అన్వెలింగ్లోనే అక్కడ లైబ్రరీకి వాళ్ళు ఎయిర్ కండిషనింగ్ చేయడం జరిగింది. ఈరోజు ఈ అకేషన్ సందర్భంగా వాళ్ళ కుటుంబ సభ్యులు కోట్ డిస్ప్లే చేశారు. A life devoted to justice, a legacy etched in love. And this beautifully captures the essence of his life and contributions. So with this, I conclude my opening remarks of the President. Now I would like to invite Sri Challa Kodamam Garu, former judge.
Respected members on the dais, the Honorable Justice Raghunath Rao, Honorable Justice Ravi, my younger brother Justice Gundangan, my old friend Justice all right, I call him as my gold friend rather than old friend. And so I do. There's a problem with me and my friend because we enjoy the relationship for so long that each of us keep pulling one of us. And that's in the lighter vein. And we are all the respected bar members, including bar council members here present, and the younger generation lawyers. The Honorable President of the Bar Association has already given a brief introduction. One incident I shared with you, how and in what context I came in contact with late Satya Prasad garu. In fact, we started with an adversarial role where we encountered each other in an arbitration matter. If I remember right, it is a Singareni College. He was appealing for Singareni College, and I was for the private party. We had a tough fight with each other. And the matter was concluded. Thereafter, one day, Satya Prasad garu came to the chambers. The one other reason, which at that point of time, which I was not aware, Satya Prasad garu's brother, S.P.S. Ramchandra Rao garu, was very close and dear to me for long years. I did not know the relationship between Satya Prasad garu and Ramchandra Rao garu. He came to me, and then that time he brought the young Shivram. Shivram wanted to learn certain things, and he just wanted to get exposure in the High Court. There's the time when, after some interaction with me and Shivram, I suggested to Shivram, probably you have a better approach as a High Court lawyer. Though it's always better that you have a grounding at the district level. Thereafter, Satya Prasad garu requested me whether he can accommodate Shivram in my office. That's how the Shivram joined my office, and thereafter he continued with my brother in our own office, and today he is in charge of the completely taken over after the bifurcation of the state. Entire of his colleagues are very responsive, and they're very prompt, and they attend to the matters and keep the client as well as the referral advocate from the coastal area, from wherever he gets the cases, very prompt way. All these on account of the fact that my interaction with Satya Prasad. And thereafter only I had met a couple of times, and I always found to be a person of immense enthusiasm and a kind of fighting spirit, and he has wanted to do many things. I am sure that he had fulfilled, and some of those which he had not been able to do, my young brother Shivaram will fulfill. And I am very glad today that this portrait unveiling is happening. It's only in a reflection and also a reminder for the next generation youngsters, a portrait being placed there, and down the lane after 20-30 years when we were all not there, for someone to remember, and also what kind of persons and what kind of lawyers we had in this bar. All of you know, I lived in Visakhapatnam from 1979 to 88. Actually, Visakhapatnam is like my second home. Though I was not in any way connected with the port at those days. But the Visakhapatnam had great lawyers. It has produced great lawyers. And lawyers, many of them are pioneers in their field. మొత్తం ఉత్తరాంధ్ర మొత్తానికి విశాఖపట్నం వాజ్ విశాఖపట్నం నెక్స్ట్ రాజమండ్రి, కాకినాడ, ఆ తర్వాత విజయవాడ కూడా అంత పేరు లేదు. విశాఖపట్నానికి రాజమండ్రికి కాకినాడకు అంత పేరు. ద రీజన్ విశాఖపట్నంలో మొట్టమొదటి నుంచి కూడా లిటరసీ రేట్ ఎక్కువ, చదువుకున్న వాళ్ళు ఎక్కువ. కాబట్టి బిజినెస్ అపార్ట్ ఫ్రమ్ దట్ బీయింగ్ బిజినెస్ హబ్, దానికి తోడు విజయనగరం సంస్థానం అయితేనేవి, గోపిక సంస్థానం అయితేనేవి, ఉత్తరాంధ్ర ఎంటైర్ ఉత్తరాంధ్ర, దీని మూలంగా అందరూ ఇక్కడ ఉన్న వాళ్ళందరూ కూడా ఎప్పుడో ఎక్కడి నుంచో వలస వచ్చి ఉన్నవాళ్ళే. కానీ వీళ్ళంతా విశాఖపట్నం వాస్తవ్యులు నాలాగా. పేరు నేను విశాఖపట్నంలో లేదు, కానీ అవకాశం దొరికినప్పుడల్లా విశాఖపట్నం వస్తుంటాను. ఈ సత్యప్రసాద్ గారి మెమరీ చెరిష్ చేసుకుంటూ యంగ్స్టర్స్ కూడా వాళ్ళు వాట్ ఎవర్ దే కెన్ కంట్రిబ్యూట్. ఐఎమ్ నాట్ ఆస్కింగ్ యాజ్ ఏ చారిటీ టు ద సిస్టమ్. నో, సిస్టమ్ డజంట్ రిక్వైర్ ఎనీబడీస్ చారిటీస్. బట్ అడ్వకేట్స్గా ఈ ప్రొఫెషన్ నుంచి, ఈ ప్రొఫెషన్లో ఎదిగి ఈ ప్రొఫెషన్లో గ్రోత్ అయిన వాళ్ళు సిస్టమ్కు కంట్రిబ్యూట్ చేయాలి. అది ఏ రకమైన కంట్రిబ్యూషన్ అన్నదానికి అది ఇండివిజువల్ చాయిస్. ఐఎమ్ గ్లాడ్ టు హియర్ ఫ్రమ్ ద ప్రెసిడెంట్, బికాజ్ శివరామ్ నాకు ఈ మాట చెప్పలేదు. ఇలా మేము ఈ రకంగా బార్ అసోసియేషన్లో చేస్తున్నాము అని అనిపిస్తే ఇక్కడ స్మాల్ ఆర్ బిగ్ కంట్రిబ్యూషన్తో సంబంధం లేదు. Contribution is a contribution. Upliftment of the society and upliftment of the system. మిగిలిన వాళ్ళు కూడా ఆ రకమైన స్ఫూర్తి తీసుకొని పెద్దవాళ్ళు దాంట్లో చేస్తారని చేయిస్తారని ఆశిస్తూ నాకు అవకాశం ఇచ్చినప్పటికీ ధన్యవాదాలు.
Thank you, sir, for your warm words. Now I request Sri D.V. Samuel garu to speak on the occasion.
President of the Bar Association, Sri Srinivas, Secretary, learned brother R. Raghunathan Rao, Ravi Chimalapati, brother Challa Gunaranjan, distinguished members of the Visakhapatnam Bar Association, judicial officers, family members of Satya Prasad Rao, and everybody else who is here today. gives me great pleasure to come back to my parent bar. Bar has made me what I am. And I am here once again acknowledging the great contribution of this bar. I deliberately did not mention my young friend Challa Kodandra because I wanted to say, and my young friend Sri Challa Kodandra. It is a matter of pride that we are all here today to honor the memory of Sri Challa. I have known Sri Sivaram Das Garu personally since we were neighbors in a way. Outside the colony that I live in, they had this beautiful house, almost 2 acres of green, pristine forest. A lovely house filled with juniors, very spacious, very beautiful. Unfortunately, that green jungle has become a concrete jungle now. Nevertheless, that is a family decision that they have taken. He had a very distinctive car also, with the number 2488, if you remember right. And as a public prosecutor, he had his own way of doing things. Prasad Rao continued the same tradition. Although he came late into the profession after rendering government service, he quickly picked up a lot of work. Since both of us were involved in arbitration, just as my young friend Sri Kodandram has said, we also crossed swords a couple of times, and it was a pleasure fighting him. He was a healthy rival and a good, formidable opponent. Sivaram Das's tradition is being continued by the young Sivaram now. CKR Associates that you have just heard of is Challa Kodandram Associates, the leading civil office with a wide variety of work. Ably started, improved by the learned Sri Challa Kodandram, and thereafter continued by Sri Justice Challa Gudaraj. They had a very large variety of work, a wide variety. And into that formidably big shoes Sivaram has stepped in. He has made a name for himself. He is considered one of the best young advocates in the AP High Court. I have nothing to hide now. Whether it is his learning or the way he conducts himself in a court, he has set a standard that should be emulated and followed. And I am glad, Mr. Sivaram, you are continuing your family tradition, living up to the good name. I don't want to take much of your time. It feels good to be here. It feels good to be amongst all my old friends and colleagues. I was just telling Justice Gunaranjan when I saw Vasu sitting here. When Mr. Sivaram Das passed away, the portrait was unveiled and the bar library was air conditioned. Me and many others of our generation, we benefited because of that. The library was a beautiful place where we all read, prepared our notes, went to courts from there. And hope and wish that all the members of the bar also use this room with the same effect, utilize this new building, and keep up the good name of this bar association. Thank you so much for the opportunity.
Thank you, sir. Next, I would like to invite the Designated Senior Counsel of AP High Court, Sri Vijay Kumar, to speak on that.
I never expected that my turn will come so soon. Respected judges on the dais, judicial officers, future judges, and other brothers and sisters. You know, RRR has become world popular. Where from that word RRR has come? This is the abbreviated version of Justice Raghunandan Rao. So he is as popular as RRR. How judges should be, we need to imbibe their qualities. Always smiling faces. See, we have come to court to do justice, not the cremation of the departed souls or to do obsequies of the cases. So if you are reflecting happy mood in court, the advocates will be in a mood to present your case properly. So these people, all these three people are responsible and they have the qualities of judges. Coming to cut end and descend, though they claim to be old friends and new friends and good friends, they have no opportunity to sit in bench. That is the reason why in Constitution there is a provision that Chief Justice can summon or recall retired judges to constitute a bench. Now our RRR has an opportunity to recall these two people to constitute a larger bench here. And we are fortunate to have all five here. And this is the premises where criminal courts were being run in those days. And I have seen the great intellectual gymnasticism of cross-examination of forensic evidence by Burra Sunnan Sastry Garu and ready-wit and arguments of Justice Rajapan Vishwanath Sastry Garu. There, the fighting spirit with lovely faces of Subbarao Garu and Lanka Venkateswara Garu. I recall one incident where Subbarao Garu was preparing a case to argue an application, Order 1, Route 10 before First Stadium Court, Veerappa Naidu judge. Suddenly, Lanka Venkateswara Garu's daughter Parvati was there. She came in running and told LV, he is known as LV here, Lanka Venkateswara Garu. Daddy, Subbarao Garu brought 4 books. And immediately LV said, he called the driver and asked him to go home and bring 100 books. Whatever books he could gather from library, his father was Ambassador 1495. He brought all books and paraded before First Stadium Court. Then First Stadium was perplexed. Why all these books in an ordinary water on road? Subbarao Garu also doubtful, what is the new points he is going to raise? All of a sudden the First Stadium said, I have a meeting with district in the afternoon, I am attending by 4 months. After lunch. And similarly I have also seen the soft skilled cross-examination of rash and negligent cases by senior criminal party in these premises. So this premises is known for great lawyers. And I have also seen the arguments of Trimurtis of this bar, Parthasarathy Garu, Ramdas and Ram Mohan. See, we learned so many things from them and we have grown. Same is the case with Satya Prasad. And Satya Prasad and myself, our association is very remarkable. He was giving me cases which are all tough cases. He was giving routine cases to others and tough cases to me. When Visakhapatnam dairy constructed 6 crores worth milk powder plant, then East West Airlines was operating here. And since Visakhapatnam airport was being manned by Navy, they gave trouble to that pilot. That pilot after landing wrote a report saying that a huge funnel came in the air base and he was unable to land. Immediately Flag Officer Commanding in Chief ordered demolition of that milk powder plant. Then Satya Prasad entrusted that case to me. That case involves runway engineering subject. I argued that matter for more than 4 months and we have succeeded. Like that, several cases in our partnership we did well and our partnership earned both of us knowledge as well as wealth. And Satya Prasad is, though a wealthy man, but a simple person. Satya Prasad's brother and 2 sisters, they were blind. Those 2 sisters are the great singers. They are called as Satyavada sisters. I learned violin and veena from them at Hyderabad. Every advocate should have some sort of outing, some sort of relaxation. Otherwise, from 10 to 5 if we are in court and after that, then we will be inviting our own wrath. So, their brother, who is also blind, is a very good player. And his niece also is blind and she has a world record. So like that, the entire family, they have their own tradition. And one more aspect, I will be failing if I don't mention, he is a very good reader, Satya Prasad. You can understand in law, is a good reader. I did 5 doctorates, 2 in law. He has undertaken the task of proofreading. Meticulous reader, and he made corrections. You will be surprised if it is law one can understand, because he is a lawyer. Even in engineering subject where I have ventured, he has made corrections. One research paper I have sent him from Dayton, Ohio to Visakhapatnam by mail, asking him to make corrections. That was a paper on security and warfare, presented by me at Dayton, Ohio, at Air Force Academy, US. Even there also he found two small corrections and sent it by mail to me. See, such a meticulous leader. And one more aspect, all of you will be shocked to know, he is a social worker. He purchased a church in Modugula village, my native place, and he converted it into a temple. Can anybody understand this? And whatever he does, whatever paper he prepares, he put it at the feet of Sai Baba. One day he has brought me 100 pages bail application in the NDPS matter where 4 bags of NDPS were seized. That 100 pages matter I condensed to 5 pages because High Court would not hear bail application if it running in pages together. Our judges will say bail granted, not granted, unlike you people writing hundreds of pages of bail orders. So when I condensed it to 5 pages, he took it to Shirdi all the way from Hyderabad, put it there and brought it, and we have presented. Bail was granted. So God has given him so much wealth. He was generous to distribute it in so many ways to so many people. But as a friend, I am successful in making him successful in profession, but I am unsuccessful in making him healthy because I am a Nichagnihotridu. 24 beware 7 cigarettes. Had it been not there, he would have survived 10 more years, and this situation would have been postponed by 10 years. Anyway, I feel that his soul must be here. He will be happy to see all of us, and I wish his family to be more successful. And Sivaram is very close to me. I call him around 10:30, asking him to seek adjournments. He was facing a court, but he cannot avoid lifting my call. He will say, uncle, 1 minute like that. He is such a soft-spoken person. I wish him all success. And I also So Satya Prasad used to call me Anna. I used to call him Anna because I am at Telangana. In Telangana, everybody is Annas. Thank you so much for the opportunity given to me.
Thank you, sir. I would like to invite Senior Advocate Sri Ramdas Garu to speak to yours.
Association, Justices present and former, and the dais, Secretary of the Bar Association, family members of late Prasad Garu, learned judicial officers, many friends, and other invited. See, Satya Prasad, he's an example of how with hard work and determination a person can become very successful in life. He started his career, he did small stints here and there, and he is a late entrant to the profession. But it's very amazing that he became very successful within a short span of time. And as stated by here, the earlier speakers, he became standing counsel for many central organizations. Then he did arbitrations. He used to go to London also. He appeared in international arbitration. And he was arbitrated in very matters of high state. And the last arbitration, just before his demise, was along with Justice Leslie M. Jagannath Garu and Justice Anil Dave. And so far as his personality is concerned, is very amiable. He had professional integrity and very humble. And even in courts, he always used to handle high state matters. And that is really great, you know. I never expected when I came in contact with him when he was doing small jobs, but I never expected that he would rise to such great occasion, and this because of his own merit. And that is one thing which one has to follow and to do.
Thank you, sir. Next time, Senior Advocate, Parliament President of the Bar Association, Satya Prasad, Sister Vasudha.
సభకు నమస్కారం. సత్యప్రసాద్ లాంటి వ్యక్తుల గురించి చెప్పే ముందు నా గురించి ఒక్క 2 నిమిషాలు చెప్పుకోవాలి. ఎందుకంటే ఆయన స్మరించే ముందు నా జీవితంలో గుర్తుండిపోయే వ్యక్తి అయినా. 2006-07 సంవత్సరంలో నేను ఈ బార్ అసోసియేషన్కి ప్రెసిడెంట్గా ఎన్నుకోబడ్డాను. సో అప్పుడు నాకంటే ముందు చేసిన ప్రెసిడెంట్ కంటే నేను తక్కువ ఏజ్లో అబౌట్ 45 years అనుకుంటే నాకు. సరే ఏదో ఒకటి బార్ అసోసియేషన్ చేయాలి, ఏమి చేయాలి. సో బార్ అసోసియేషన్ కానీ, లైబ్రరీ కానీ, తర్వాత కోర్ట్ హాల్స్ అన్నీ కూడా మామూలు ఖర్చుతో ఉండేవి. పూర్వం ఖర్చులు నా ప్రాయంలో కాకుండా మామూలు ఖర్చుతో ఉండేవి. ఏదో ఒకటి చెయ్యాలి. ఏం చెయ్యాలి? బార్ అసోసియేషన్ లైబ్రరీ చాలా ఘోరంగా ఉండేది. సో అప్పుడే అంతకుముందే జస్ట్ 6 months బిఫోర్ శివరామదాస్ గారు చనిపోవడం. సో సత్యప్రసాద్ దగ్గరికి వెళ్ళి, అన్న ఏదైనా చేద్దాం బార్ అసోసియేషన్ గారు ఉంది, నీ సహకారం ఉంటే చక్కగా అందరికీ ఉపయోగపడే పని ఏదో చేద్దాం, కొద్ది ఖర్చుతో కూడుకుని పనే అని చెప్పేస్తే, నువ్వు ఏం చెప్తావో చెప్పు, నీకేం కావాలో చెప్పు, నేను చేస్తాను అని వేరే మారు మాట మాట్లాడకుండా ఆ రోజుల్లో more than 20 lakhs ఖర్చు పెట్టి లైబ్రరీ హాల్ అంతా, టోటల్ లైబ్రరీ హాల్ అంతా టైల్స్, ఫాల్ సీలింగ్, ఏసీస్, అసోసియేషన్ కూడా టైల్స్ వేసి చాలా సుందరంగా నవీకరించాం. ఆ తర్వాత మన అన్ని కోర్ట్ హాల్స్ ఇప్పటివరకు కూడా అలా ఎవరూ చేయలేదు, నువ్వు చేసావు అలాంటి పని, అది చేసింది సత్యప్రసాద్ గారు. సో ధనవంతులు ఉంటే ఇంకా ధనం సంపాదించాలని ఆలోచిస్తారు తప్ప ఇలాంటి వితరణ ఉండే వ్యక్తులు చాలా తక్కువ మంది ఉంటారు. సో అలాంటి వాటిని స్మరించుకోవడం, నిత్యం రోజు బార్ అసోసియేషన్లోకి వచ్చినప్పుడు వెంటనే నేను తలుచుకునేది సత్యప్రసాద్లే. సో అలాంటి వారు మన ముందు లేకపోయినా సరే నిత్యం ఆయన స్మరించుకుంటూ ఉంటాం. నాకు ఈ అవకాశాన్ని ఇచ్చిన ప్రెసిడెంట్ గారికి
గారు. సరే, సీనియర్ అడ్వకేట్ శ్రీ కేవీ రామూర్తి గారు స్పీకర్ కేసు.
Srinivas, respected Sri Justice Gauraganandra, Sri Justice Ravi Chandrapati, Sri Justice Salla Gunaranjan, former Judge Andhra Pradesh High Court, Justice Sonia Linda, and a very dear friend of mine who is very good at heart ever since I was the last student at Andhra University, Sri Justice Vadanram Garu. We have had friendly banter the banter at times waters digging at me, which he is entitled to, although he was younger to me at that time. Even now also. There is change. At that time, he was bubbling with youthful exuberance, activity. That is the difference. It was a different relationship. And secretary, the respected members of the district judiciary, my esteemed colleagues, seniors and juniors, it is a very difficult to stop the flow of thought at times. In moments like this, it is always mixed feeling. Some are pleasant, some are unpleasant, some are not so pleasant. We remember only pleasant occasions, and we should, the moment a man leaves this world to the other world of which we do not. Prasad hails from a very distinguished family, a wealthy family. His father was adopted to a wealthy man. He too was generous to his juniors. Generous means not giving some. He was generous in imparting knowledge, giving work, as well as maintaining that camaraderie among the juniors, and they were an integral part of their work. That was the greatness of late Satya Prasad. So there was no surprise. S.S. Prasad inherited those good qualities, noble qualities. Generosity, it doesn't depend on one having money or no money. People with, I have seen many people, an auto wala flying his auto for the pregnant woman free of cost. Countless instances we find. But there is a saying in Telugu, Daridriyam Dayalakunda Chestuna. Like a ధనం దయ కలిగిస్తుందంటే కలిగించింది. ధనం దయ కలిగించదు ఎందుకు అంటే 1,00,000 సంపాదించక 10 లక్షలు 10 లక్షలు లేక కోటి. దట్ ఈస్ ది బ్యూటీ ఆఫ్ దట్ మనీ. మనిషి ధనాన్ని సృష్టిస్తాడు, ఆ ధనం మనిషిని ఆడిస్తుంది. ఆత్రేయ succinctly put it in one song. అందమైన లోకం ఇది, అందమైన లోకమని రంగురంగులు ఉంటాయని అందరూ అంటూ ఉంటారు రామరామ, అంత అందమైనది కాదు లేమ్మా ఈ లోకం. డబ్బు పుట్టి మనిషి చచ్చాడమ్మా, పేదవాడు ఆనాడే పుట్టాడమ్మా. So, those who knew value of money, we have great people who walked on this earth long before us and set an example. In Manicure, we know Raghu, who performed 1,000 Ashwamedhas and every time used to become power by himself and then used to expand the empire. And when one goes through Raghuvansham, we understand. My late lamented senior, N.V. Raghunathan garu, used to tell that every human being who is capable of intellectual prowess and physical abilities has to grow like a sugar cane, crush himself and distribute this sweet, make the other's life more sweet. And Prasad Rao imbibed that quality from his forefathers, and his wife cooperated and the children did not complain. That is the beauty of that family. Satya Prasad garu was a traditional but not conservative. He was religious at the heart and mind, but secular in outlook. He was assertive in court, but never arrogant. These are the qualities that endeared him to many members of the party. He was appointed as special public prosecutor in indirect taxes and direct taxes. I used to have a good number of matters in the special court for economic offences. We know there were public prosecutors for 43 years in this bar, neighboring districts. I practiced and I have come across so many public prosecutors. The younger generation's people, public prosecutors without much exception, were honest men of integrity and not demanding. No, we have been hearing, although I am not a part of the syndicate, they are demanding irrespective of any benefit or anything, saying that we got this post after spending so much money at different levels. As such, we have to reap this. Whereas Satya Prasad never ever, directly or indirectly or remotely, sounded that there is an element of, not only in our office, any office. He used to come into court, on Thursday used to file the counter as instructed by ED or GST or any other. And then used to argue. And while arguing, if he is a junior friend, the other side, opponent is a junior friend, he used to give him some lift, because these are complicated laws, particularly GST, service tax. He was helpful, but at the same time, he maintained that rectitude that is required for the office he was holding, public prosecutor. Very rare. In these days, at least in the last 50 years. Sorry to say that. Unless we acknowledge that there is a lapse on our part, there is a defect in our ecosystem, we may not remedy it, correct it. As such, it is my bounden duty at times to be the man who, in this part at least, my colleagues have always been entrusting the job to me. Unpleasant things have to be said in public. But presently it has to be done. So, he was resolute and that maintained rectitude. He was not, although he was traditionalist, he was never dogmatic. That is he was never orthodox. That orthodoxy is not there. That Catholicity is so visible to him. These are the things that endeared. Mr. Ramdas Garu was referring to the arbitration. That was the last arbitration. There Mr. Justice Jagannath Rao shared bench tribunal with Justice Ramesh Dave and Sri S.V.S. During COVID, some are virtual and some are physical. I was appearing for the respondent there, and it is a multi-crore, more than 150 crores or something. And all the three arbitrators, I faced former Advocate General Mr. C.V. Mohan Reddy in that arbitration. By the time the arguments were concluded, we received the shocking news that Prasad Rao Garu was diagnosed with glioblastoma. Yet he maintained the cheer and kept his faith in Sai Baba and Lord Venkateswara. And he was ever cheerful. And ultimately, Jagannath Rao deliberated with him virtually and otherwise. Jagannath Rao Garu prepared the award and it was concurred by both the arbitrators. I appeared against S.V.S. Prasad Rao in criminal matter but not in arbitrations. But I appeared before him as an arbitrator. And then I realized that man was fit to be an arbitrator. Fit to be an arbitrator. He ably assisted the presiding arbitrator, maintained cardiology with the co-arbitrator, and then the arbitration was concluded. And few days thereafter, Mr. Prasad Rao attained the lotus feet of Lord. For some time, nearly 6 months, he was in the Ghat airport lounge, awaiting the stamping of visa, and ultimately he was relieved of all the suffering of his mortal coil and went to the airport. Three things I liked him: ever cheerful, punctual in the court, and then he was respectful to the bench and generous to his juniors and maintained cordiality with his colleagues. All these are very, nowadays we are not seeing these qualities in the present generation of advocates. That is one thing. And as Sister also told, really he contributed very generously, not only to this cause, to the Bar Association. I know many a cause particularly attached to RSS organizations, be it Manvarsi Prajan Ashram or any other organization. I represented some of the organizations, heading those organizations. They are social service organizations. And that was SVS Prasad. Death is inevitable. One has to depart this world. But the Vedic saying is, live peacefully and live smoothly. And Prasad took that path, lived peacefully and left very smoothly. So I congratulate the family of Prasad Garu for organizing this function and unveiling his portrait. I also offer my best wishes to Sivaram for all the success in the profession and in personal life. And his father looks after him from heaven and blesses him at all times and watches him so that he will not swerve from the right path. And offer my blessings to Sivaram and thank the President of our association and the family members of Prasad Garu for giving me an opportunity to offer my tribute to him. I thank and all. Good afternoon, President of the Bar Association, Srinivas, Chief Guest of today's function, Sri Rao Raghunandan of Justice, Justice Kavi Shavalpati, and Justice Challa Manoranjan Garu, and Challa Kodandam of Justice, and Sonia Secretary, the officers who attend, the senior advocates, designated senior advocates, friends and family members of the Sivaram Das family, and my colleagues at Bar Council, P. Narasimha Garu, and Allur Ramiredi Garu, member Bar Council of India, and other dignitaries and invitees. A very warm good afternoon. The speakers before me spoke about the personal experience and the qualities of the late Sivaram Das. I would also like to share 2 or 3 incidents and close, as the portfolio judge has to leave by 12:30. I was involved. 2 minutes is granted to be discussed. My association with the family of late Sivaram Das Garu, my father was his friend. And he, Satya Prasad father used to visit our office before I came to my practice, and before I had association with late Satya Prasad. Satya Prasad's father, Sri Sivaram Das Garu, was the senior public prosecutor, assistant public prosecutor grade 2, with great integrity and honesty. And his father was ICS, Punjab district, and the qualities adopted by Sivaram Das Garu as a public prosecutor, the way he conducted, those characteristics late Satya Prasad has followed. And by that, he attained good knowledge and we used to conduct the matters sincerely and honestly. I spoke with the earlier speakers, and the contributions what Mr. Justice Chala Kodantam was informing. It might be small or big, the contribution should be there, or likely to be there. The first contribution we received from the family in the library hall, that was spoke with the earlier president. And today we are witnessing and with the permission of the unit head and our portfolio judge, we are able to get the ACs from the son, Sivaram. And the Bar Association will be ever grateful to their family members for providing this as a legacy. And their donations not only limit to the Bar Association, they have donations given to Tirupati, Shirdi, Satyanarayana Swami Temple, Annavaram, and what not anywhere in India they have their own rooms. Anyone wants to go to any temple, they give a rating, they have 3 days in a year. And he was my good friend, and the other friend was referring Agnihotra. I don't want to comment, but he has a style. After coming from the court, immediately he used to lead a cigarette. That style is altogether nobody can do it. Sorry to say that, but still I like the way he smokes. I have to tell you, because everybody cannot have the style. Rajnikant has one style, he has this style. And they are all the family members are devotees of Lord Shirdi Sai Baba. And every year he goes and sends me a pen on my table and a calendar. And in my elections the last 4 times, he used to help me a lot by recommending my name for the council. I thank everybody for giving this opportunity, the organizers and Sivaram, to give more to the society, and the family members. Meenakshi Garu also is a good singer, and regularly she used to, in every bar association, without Meenakshi, the function does not start with Ganpati song by Meenakshi. That is her thing. And as a family members, we know everybody, but I don't want to take the time. These are the qualities and donations and what the family members are given. And I once again thank the organizers for giving this opportunity to speak a few words. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Now request former Vice Chairman of the Bar Council of Andhra Pradesh, K. Ramajoleswara.
President of Vishakhapatnam Bar Association, my friend M.K. Srinivas, today's chief guest, Sri Justice R. Raghunandan Garu, and our invited Sri Justice Ravi Simhapati Garu, Sri Challa Gunaranjan Garu, Sri Justice Swamayajil Garu, Sri Justice Chala Kodantam Garu, our Bar Council members, judicial officers, and General Secretary, my friend Naidu, senior, junior advocates, very good afternoon. We are late in the patient గా సడన్గా మాట్లాడమన్నారు. అయితే సత్యప్రసాద్ గారు, సన్ ఆఫ్ శివరామ్ దాస్ గారు. శివరామ్ దాస్ గారు వెరీ లెజెండ్ పర్సన్ అండ్ గ్రేట్ ప్రాక్టీషనర్ ఇన్ సివిల్, మనందరికీ తెలిసిందే. వారి సన్ను సత్యప్రసాద్ గారు. అయితే సత్యప్రసాద్ గారు has grown on his own. ఇక్కడ మనకు డౌట్ రావచ్చు, వారి ఫాదర్ చాలా పెద్ద అడ్వకేట్ కదా, పెద్ద ఆఫీస్ ఇది వారు, కానీ వారు లేట్గా వచ్చారు ప్రాక్టీస్కి లేట్గా వచ్చి
లోక్రెటిక్స్ ఎథిక్స్ మంచి ప్రాక్టీస్ చేసి అంత పేరు ప్రఖ్యాత సంపాదించుకున్న సత్యప్రసాద్ గారి వారిని మనం బాగా పూర్తిగా నిలిపేందుకు ప్రయత్నించిన వారి కుటుంబ సభ్యులకి, ఎగ్జిక్యూటివ్ మెంబర్స్ కమిటీ వారికి నేను అభినందిస్తున్నాను. అది కూడా మంచి మనసున్న జడ్జెస్ మా గురువు గారు రఘునంద గారు, అట్లాగే రవి గారు అలాగే మన మంచి జడ్జి సమక్షంలో జరగడం అభినందనీయం. నేను వారి కుటుంబ సభ్యుల్ని అలాగే ఎగ్జిక్యూటివ్ కమిటీ వారిని కూడా మనస్ఫూర్తిగా అభినందిస్తూ నాకు ఈ అవకాశం ఇచ్చినందుకు ధన్యవాదాలు చేస్తాను.
Thank you, sir. Now I request Executive Member Manish Sheikh to read the brief of His Lordship Sri Challa Gundagan.
Good morning, one and all. It is my privilege to introduce Honorable Sri Justice Challa Gundagan Garu. Born to late Sri Challa Narayan Garu and late Srimati Challa Chandrama Garu at Tadpatri in Anantapur district. His Lordship completed his schooling at Sri Aurobindo Seminary School, Tadpatri, and completed his degree and law studies at Hyderabad. He was enrolled as an advocate with the Andhra Pradesh Bar Council in 2001 and began his practice in the office of Honorable Sri Justice Challa Kodanram Garu. Before establishing a distinguished independent practice, Gundagan Garu has handled matters across diverse branches of law, covering writ remedies, education, electricity, mining, taxation, revenue, surfacing, environment, arbitration, contracts, civil and criminal matters, and special expertise with economic offences, insolvency, bankruptcy, and corruption litigation. He has also appeared before NCLT, APERC, TSERC, AFTEL, and represented reputed institutions such as IOCL, HPCL, Midani, and BHPB. He further served as standing counsel for the Medical Council of India between 2011 and 2013. In recognition of his illustrious career, Honorable Justice Gundagan Garu was appointed as an additional judge of the High Court of Andhra Pradesh and was sworn in on the 28th October 2024. Sir, it is an honor for us to have you here. Welcome, sir.
Now I request Sri Challa Gundagan Justice to speak on the case.
Good afternoon, everyone. This is Raghunath Garu. This is Ravi Simalpati. I'm former Justice Challa Gundagan, my brother. I'm Somaya Jalga. Dignitaries sitting on the dais here, on the dais. My acquaintance with Prasad Garu was, I think, sometime 2013 or 14, after brother got elevated and I was just about to take care of the office. Then, though Shivaram, just before that, he met at court premises in Hyderabad. I didn't know about his father. So, in relation to one of power matter, he had come to Hyderabad to defend a case. So then later that matter came to be interested in me, really. And that's how our journey started. Like, we worked together in few of the matters. Always what I found was that he used to, wherever either in court or even sometimes I met him in a couple of times in the airport also. Always he was reading some book or preparing some note for next, maybe some next matter or assignment which he was incidentally at that particular, going to that particular place. So he was very humble and very affectionate. he invited me once I think he used to perform a lot of pujas. Even at Hyderabad, Gandhinagar, he used to stay at Gandhinagar. Couple of occasions he invited there. He would not allow leave even if we have a court work and all. So he was insisting to have lunch or dinner and leave. That's how he was very affectionate. I think his children are fortunate to have that kind of affectionate father. And when I was told that the family members intend to organize or come up with this particular program, it was, I felt very happy. He is being remembered by this bar and the next generation advocates to know about his qualities. That really would be a kind of an inspiration to our next generation lawyers. So I thank for being made me to part of this august presence. Thank you.
Thank you, Lordship. Very valuable words. I will now call upon Amusha, Executive Member, to read a brief of His Lordship, Justice Sri Ravi Chaman.
Andarki Namaskaram. The law is not merely a set of rules. It is conscience of society written in words. With reverence, I rise to introduce a distinguished son of Visakhapatnam, whose journey is deeply rooted in tradition and is marked by brilliance. In the coastal city of destiny, with hills by its side, 1967 gave us all a source of pride. To the stalwart and venerable advocate Sri Ramamurthy, and to the gentle and wise Srimati Suryakantam. His father, a legend with books and briefs, built a throne. In the chambers of justice, his name well known. Young Ravi, with a scholar's gleam, stepped into law to fulfill the dream. He pursued commerce at Dr. L.B. College, Bright, then law at NPM, where futures take flight. Both under Andhra University's pride, where tradition and learning walk side by side. In 1995, the Bar Council gave him his place, and in his father's chambers he learned with grace. But soon to Hyderabad his journey flew. To the High Court's hall, all he knew. Civil, criminal writs in hand, revenue matters and constitution grant. At home, an advocate brother with equal will, a trusted name with clarity rare, and a sister who keeps the bond complete still, guiding the chaos with earnest care. From 2015 till 2018, as standing counsel his service was seen for Panchayat Raj with steady grace, bringing justice to every village place. In 2019, when Amravati's court arose, to the new High Court his practice he chose. There, he stood with counsel's might for Visakhapatnam steel plant's right. Through judgments reasoned, reported with art, he shaped the law's strong beating heart, and then the call so noble and true in February 2022. Upon the bench his stature rose, a judge whose wisdom justice chose. From Visakhapatnam's shore to Amravati's bench, his journey speaks of values entrenched. Discipline, devotion and justice and kind, a beacon of law, both gentle and kind. Ladies and gentlemen, seniors and juniors, with honor and reverence, I present before you the Honorable Sri Justice Ravi Chaman.
Listen. చేయి అడుగుతున్నారండి. రఘునందన్ గారు, స్వామి గారు, వదనం గారు చేయి మీద కూర్చోబెట్టే మామూలుగా ఉండదు దాంట్లో ర్యాగింగ్. బట్ ఎనీహౌ I should address first I should thank the Bar Association once again and the Sivaram for inviting me to this occasion. And it is a pleasure to sit on the dais to
legendary personalities like Kodandaram garu, Ramanandan garu, Somidar garu, and then the other Gunaranjan. The generations and legacy how to hold on our shoulders. Everybody knows that's very difficult. శివరాం కన్నా తెలివైన వాడిని అనుకునేవాడిని. దాని తర్వాత తెలిసింది ఆయన విజన్ థాట్ CKRSS ఎందుకు జాయిన్ అయ్యాడు, కోదండరాం గారి ఆఫీసు అంటే అప్పుడే ఊహించాడు కోదండరాం గారు జడ్జి అవుతారు, తర్వాత మనల్ని అయిపోతారు, మనమే దాన్ని ఆఫీస్ రన్ చేయొచ్చు అని యంగ్ ఏజ్లో మంచి ప్లేస్ కొట్టాడు. సరే ఏం రన్ చేస్తాడు ఆఫీసు చూద్దాం, మనం తెలివైన వాడు అనుకుంటున్నాం కదా అని అనుకున్నాం. కానీ ఈజ్ డూయింగ్ వెరీ వెల్ యాజ్ సెడ్ బై Swami గారు. బట్ ఐ అడ్వైజ్ సిన్సియర్లీ మిస్టర్ శివరాం, డోంట్ టేక్ దిస్ టు ది హెడ్. I know Kodandaram garu office, I know Kodandaram garu for a long time, closely. ఆయన స్మైలింగ్ ఫేస్, వెరీ ఫిట్ ఉన్న ఆయన, సరదాగా ఉంటారు బయట వరకు. వర్క్ వచ్చేసరికల్లా సో ద లెగసీ ఆఫ్ Kodandaram carried by Gunaranjan with utmost discipline and principles. He carried away very well. Now that has been shifted on Shivaram and his colleagues, their associates. It is father legacy, but Kodandaram garu office legacy maintain cheyadam not easy according to me. So Shivaram should be very cautious and lead his life and reach much more heights. Now coming to the Prasad Rao, his father of Shivaram garu. I don't have much acquaintance. I know him, but I never met him earlier. I remember in the year 2015 or 16, so he has sent a word to my brother to come to his office. So I went to his office, Dadwaldar, if I am not wrong, main road, yes. So he offered a cup of coffee and we almost sat for about 1 hour and we discussed various things. ఏమయ్యా నువ్వు జడ్జి ఎప్పుడు అవుతావు అని అడిగాను. సార్ కాఫీ ఇచ్చే బాగానే ఉంది, మాట్లాడారు, జడ్జి అవుతానంటారు, నాకు బ్యాక్గ్రౌండ్ లేదు, నేను రఘునందన రాంపీస్ బ్యాక్గ్రౌండ్ లేదు, పొద్దున్న టీవీ కలుగుతుంది కానీ ఇంపాసిబుల్ సార్ అన్నాను. నో డోంట్ సే దట్, ఐ హర్డ్ అబౌట్ యూ, గాడ్ బ్లెస్ యూ, యూ డెఫినెట్లీ బికమ్ నెగోటియేట్ అని ఆ రోజు ఎందుకన్నారో ఆయన తెలియదు. సో those words I always recollect him. What we heard from the earlier speakers, that all the Sachivada family is a very legendary family and multi-facets అని సింగింగ్గా ఉన్నారు. So Shivaram is blessed to have such family and I wish him to continue the legacy with utmost care and dedication. Thank you for inviting me today to this occasion once again. I take leave.
Thank you, Allah. My request for the principal district Garu, Sri Chanam Raj Garu to come and please. Srimati Sindhura to read a brief of His Lordship Justice Raghunath.
Good morning to the august gathering. It is indeed a matter of great honor and privilege to introduce before you an eminent jurist, a visionary in the field of law, and a guiding force for the judiciary in our state, Honorable Shri Justice Rao Raghunandan Rao Garu, Judge of High Court of AP and Administrative Judge of Visakhapatnam Unit. Born on 30th June 1964 to late Shri Rao Chinnarao Garu and Srimati R. Vilasita Kumari Garu, his lordship completed his schooling at the Hyderabad Public School, Ramantapur, graduated in commerce from Nagarjuna University and obtained his law degree from Usmania University in 1988. He was enrolled with the Bar Council of Andhra Pradesh on 1st September 1988 and began his practice under the able guidance of Shri S. Ravi Garu. Over the years, he served as Assistant Government Pleader, Commercial Taxes, and later as Special Assistant Government Pleader in the Office of Advocate General of Andhra Pradesh. He went on to represent several esteemed public sector undertakings such as Power Grid Corporation, Indian Oil Corporation, and GAIL, besides reputed private corporations also. Recognizing his deep knowledge and contribution, he was designated as Senior Counsel to the High Court of Andhra Pradesh in December 2013 after over 3 decades of a distinguished practice across all the branches of law. His Lordship's practice extended to the High Court of Telangana and Andhra Pradesh, the National Company Law Tribunal, and even the Honorable Supreme Court of India. He also served as Senior Standing Counsel for the Union of India and Senior Standing Counsel to the High Court of Andhra Pradesh. His Lordship was elevated as Judge of the High Court of Andhra Pradesh on 30th January 2020. Presently, he served as the Administrative Judge of Visakhapatnam Unit, guiding and strengthening judicial administration in this region also. His Lordship has delivered several important rulings, that's landmark judgments, that have shaped contemporary jurisprudence. In 2023, he clarified the authority of additional district judges to adjudicate diverse petition under the Special Marriage Act, therefore strengthened access to justice and ease the burden on family court. And his Lordship has also addressed sensitive issues under the Senior Citizenship Act. Dealing with allegations of abandonment under Section 24, he set aside the lower court's order and remanded the case for fresh consideration on merits. This reflects not only his insistence on due process but also his concern for the dignity and protection of senior citizens. These judgments stand testimony to his profound legal insights, clarity of reasoning, and unwavering commitment to justice. His Lordship is truly an inspiration, a symbol of judicial wisdom, integrity, and dedication. It is a privilege for all of us in Visakhapatnam to have His Lordship as our administrative judge, guiding the district with vision and fairness. With immense pride and respect, I request you all to join me to extend a warm and wholehearted welcome to Honorable Justice Shri Rao Raghunandan Rao Garu. Thank you for the opportunity to question.
I request His Lordship Justice Shri Rao Raghunandan to speak a few words on meditation.
Greetings to all the dignitaries on the dais and the dignitaries of the dais. I am using the word dignitaries of the dais to address all of you because this is not an official meeting, this is a meeting to honor one of your own, and therefore all of you are dignitaries for this meeting. I start with a disadvantage because of all the speakers, I am the only person who has not had the benefit of acquaintance with Mr. Prasad Rao. But seeing the level of participation and response from the members of the bar, and after hearing all the speakers who spoke before me, I can very clearly see that Mr. Prasad Rao was an eminent jurist. I use the word jurist deliberately because it is not just advocates in the High Court or Supreme Court who are jurists. Any person who has a deep understanding of law and applies that law, according to me, is a jurist. So I can see that he is somebody who has contributed immensely to law and for the well-being of the bar, apart from other activities of charity that he has carried out. Today we are here basically to honor him and to keep his memory alive by unveiling this portrait. It is said that we are all afraid of death because we are afraid of non-existence and we are afraid of being forgotten. When a portrait of this nature is unveiled in an association of this caliber, it is where his memory will live on much after all of us are gone. And for that, I congratulate and give my appreciation to Sivaram and his family members, as well as the family members of Mr. Prasad Rao, for undertaking this task, because this is one way that children can repay their parents by keeping their memory alive. I commend the members of the family of Mr. Prasad Rao for taking up this task. I also would like to place on record my personal appreciation that all these air conditioners have been donated by Mr. Sivaram and his family members, which I am sure will keep all of you in comfort during the long summer period and the heat which comes along with such a summer. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Now I request Senior Advocate Sri M. Venkataraman kindly read the brief about Sri S.S. Prasad Nagar Satya Prasad Garu. He was the junior of Sri Sivaram Das Garu and closely associated with the family of the Sivaram Das Garu company. Period of about 5 decades and a part of their family.
వేదికను అలంకరించినటువంటి హైకోర్టు న్యాయమూర్తులకు, వేదిక ముందు ఉన్నటువంటి న్యాయమూర్తులకు, బార్ కౌన్సిల్ మెంబర్స్కు, సీనియర్ న్యాయవాదులకు, జూనియర్ న్యాయవాదులకు, లేడీ న్యాయవాదులకు, ఎస్ఎస్ ప్రసాదరావు గారి బంధుమిత్రులకు అందరికీ కూడా నా అభినందనలు తెలియజేస్తున్నాను. I have given a privilege to read the profile of late Sri S.S. Prasad Rao Garu, popularly known as Satya Prasad, who is a elder son of my senior, late Sri Satyawada Sivaram Das. S.S. Prasad Rao, affectionately known as Satya Prasad, was a distinguished advocate with about 3 decades of experience in diverse areas of litigation. He hailed from a lineage of public service and excellence, named after his grandfather, late Sri Satyawada Suryanand Prasad Rao, a former district collector of Ganjam in the composite state of Madras and recipient of the prestigious title Rao Bahadur. Satya Prasad inherited a legacy of integrity and commitment. His father, late Sri Satyawada Sivaram Das SSRT, served as an assistant public prosecutor and was widely respected for his visionary outlook. Satya Prasad received his early education at St. J.P. High School, Sompeta in Srikakulam district, and later pursued his pre-university BA and LLB from Andhra University. Before entering the legal profession in 1991, he had a vibrant career as an entrepreneur, hotelier, sports enthusiast, and public administrator, always driven by a deep desire to serve society. His journey into law began surreptitiously in 1983 when he briefed senior counsel Sri S. Ramchandra in a landmark case before the erstwhile High Court of Andhra Pradesh. His experience ignited his passion for the legal field, and although he formally joined the bar at the age of 42, he quickly earned the respect of both the bench and the bar. Through his dedication, versatility, and tireless work ethic, known for his camaraderie, mentorship, and unwavering warmth, Satya Prasad was a pillar of support to many. He mentored over 20 advocates, many of whom have gone on to achieve significant success in their careers. He was a staunch advocate for young lawyers and consistently promoted their growth and visibility. In the latter years of career, Satya Prasad developed a
keen interest in arbitration, representing clients in China, London, Singapore and Dubai. His efforts were instrumental in showcasing the capabilities of Indian lawyers, especially those from Type 2 cities to the global legal and business community. His legal acumen and commitment to public service were recognized by the central government, which appointed him as an additional standing counsel in 2006. He represented the Asian Naval Command headquarters and various other central government bodies. He continued to take on challenging roles, serving as Special Public Prosecutor for the Income Tax Department, Customs and other departments. Satya Prasad is survived by his wife Meenakshi, son Sivaram, High Court Advocate, Ravikiran, India litigation lead at multinational company, and daughter Gayatri, homemaker. He was deeply devoted to his family and often spoke of his wife's unwavering support and musical presence at both professional and personal gatherings. Her strength and grace were a cornerstone of his life. His legacy of professional mentorship and warmth continues to inspire, and his family remains committed to preserving and honoring his remarkable journey. Thank you, one and all.
Thank you, sir. I request the Lordship, Sri Justice Ravanand sir, to kindly unveil the portrait of Satya Prasad. I request all the distinguished guests on the dais, the bar council members, committee members, and staff members of Satya Prasad to kindly come forward for unveiling the portrait of Satya Prasad.
Sir, please, sir. Please, sir. Medical. Sir, कुछ देखिए, please. Sir, officer, sir, President Garu. Sir, officer. Mak, kunci mobil mana? Ambil tu. Please.
మనం ముందుకు వెళ్ళిపోతాం ఒక సైడ్ కింద ఉంది
Signing, sir. Please, sir.
Sir, signing, sir.
Sir, sir. Thank you, sir. అమ్మ ఒక్కసారి ఇద్దరు ఒక్కసారి 1 by 1 వేస్తే బాగుంది
కంటిన్యూ ఇచ్చేస్తాను.
ఓన్లీ లేదు మేడం లేచండి.
Ramanama garu, elder sister of Satya Prasad garu, to kindly felicitate Lordship Rao Raghunandan garu, Honorable Judge of Andhra Pradesh High Court, the Deputy Judge of Visakhapatnam Unit. Madam, Swarajyam Ramanama garu.
మేడం ప్లీజ్
మేడం ఫోటో పై చూపించారు
సార్ కొంచెం దగ్గర సార్ ప్లీజ్. థ్యాంక్ యూ సార్.
Thank you, sir. I would request Sri Srinivasarao garu, the brother-in-law of Satya Prasad garu, to kindly felicitate Lordship Ravi Chemalpati garu. Ravi.
Sir. Thank you, sir.
Now I request Sri Narasimha garu to kindly felicitate the Lordship Chala Raghunandan garu. Now I request Mr. Pani to kindly felicitate Justice Swamyal garu. Pani. Sir, Ravi garu, please. నేను అనౌన్స్ చేసిన సమయం శ్రీమతి జయ co-sister of Satya Prasad garu to kindly felicitate Justice Challa Kodandaram garu.
ఇది పట్టుకొని ఒకసారి
Now I request Secretary Satya Prasad garu to kindly felicitate our Principal District Judge Sri Chennam Raj garu. Thank you, sir. Now I request Mr. S.V. Sivaram to convey the vote of thanks. Please.
To each one of you for being present today at this unveiling of my father Sri Satya Prasad Garu's portrait. Your presence means a great deal to our family, and it is a true reflection of the respect and admiration he has earned throughout his life. I take this opportunity to sincerely thank the Honorable Lordships Sri Justice Rao Raghunandan Rao Garu, Justice Ravi Chemalpati Garu, Justice Challa Gunranjan Garu, and I take this opportunity to sincerely thank the Principal District Judge Sri Chennam Raj Garu. I take this opportunity to also thank Justice D.V. Soumyajulu Garu, retired Honorable High Court Judge, and also my mentor Sri Justice Challa Kodandaram Garu. I also extend my heartfelt thanks to all the dignitaries who spoke about my father, Senior Counsel Mr. P.V. Vijay Kumar Garu, Senior Counsel Sri M.V. Ramana Garu, all distinguished speakers, Presidents of the Visakhapatnam Bar Association Sri M.K. Srinivas Garu, and Secretary Sri L.P. Nayak Garu. I also thank my senior friends who have come all the way from High Court from Vijayawada. More importantly, Sri Radhakrishna Garu, and also the friends and family of my father, our relatives. I thank each one of you personally. Thank you for taking your time to join us today, your valuable presence and support. This occasion is not just a tribute to my father's legacy, but a celebration of the values he stood for and the relationship he cherished. We will definitely try to uphold the values he has taught us. Thank you so much.
All the persons to kindly join us for the lunch. All the dignitaries on the dais and off the dais, all the judicial officers, members of the Bar Association, Bar Council, please.